Thunderbirds are go.
This is a cautionary tale about boat work and how one thing leads to another.
Things that have been fantastic are these belt sanders.
This is also a tale about a small town near Port Stephens, which has a dubious reputation for being the most haunted town in New South Wales. I'm Adriana, and this is Jim. We met in a band, got married, had a family, got into boating, and when our children moved to London, we sold everything to move on to Kikamalu, our home, a 42-foot Swanson with our spoodle Lucy. This is our salty life. Subscribe and welcome aboard. We spent Christmas on the boat. Sydney was in lockdown and the government had reduced the number of flights from London, so it was just the two of us for the first time. I've been very spoilt today. Thanks, Jimmy.
My pleasure.
This is a cautionary tale about boat work and how one thing leads to another.
It all began quite innocently. The deck fitting for the deck wash tap had corroded and Jim had to remove it. This made sense because we were going to do the decks eventually anyway, and this would be far easier to do now.
Jim was so happy with how the 2-pack polyurethane around the deck wash tap turned out that he decided to paint all the white borders on the boat.
The 2-pack polyurethane paint is basically worn out, so I'm just the trim, the white borders, so I'm just sanding it off back to sound substrate, and I'm going to prime it with a fiberglass compatible primer and then recoat it with a 2-pack polyurethane paint, a couple of coats, and it'll be fine.
The weather was very unsettled, and Jim had to paint the strips in between the regular rain showers. That's what happens when you don't have the luxury of a shed to work in.
And while he was painting the white borders, Jim saw these little hairline cracks on the non-slip surface of the deck, and he just had to fix them.
Because the deck's made up of 2 layers of 10mm marine ply that have been glued and screwed together, and then that's been overcoated with epoxy and fiberglass, those were not thought to be very much of an issue. But when I came to repairing those areas, those tiny cracks often indicated a problem below, such as a fixing being too close to the surface. So I chased out those areas with a file sander. This is a fabulous tool. It's a Makita belt sander, and it's great for rapid removal of a lot of area in difficult to access spaces like in here. There's a smaller one I've got for detail work, for getting in behind fittings, and for really getting in close to to deck fittings and what have you. The multi-tool, which is great also for getting in around the fittings. And of course the Orbital sander is just a great tool. The things that have been fantastic are these belt sanders. With this one, because it removes so much material so fast, I've got it hooked up to the vacuum cleaner. It's not perfect, but it stops a lot of stuff going everywhere, a lot of dust.
But it was time to down tools for a day or two to get some R&R.
We're on our way to a little town called Morpeth. We've taken some time off from boat work to go there. We're staying with friends in a little cottage. It's a perfect opportunity to have a break, don't you reckon, Jimmy?
Yep, a very welcome break from the boat work.
Okay, well, you want to come with us? Let's go.
Morpeth is a town northwest of Newcastle, about 45 minutes from Port Stephens. It became a town through the private actions of a certain Edward Charles Close, who selected a property of 1,000 hectares and developed it as a river port from 1831 to 1841. At one point, Morpeth had 82 convicts living there.
All the beams up here, they were all handcarved by convicts.
The construction of the Great Northern Railway in 1857, bypassing Morpeth, meant that Newcastle developed as a regional port and Morpeth became less relevant.
Woke up over green-covered hills, standing as still as the morning. I felt once like a stranger.
Once we were settled in, we went for a walk.
Somebody's story.
These days, Morpeth is a delightful historic town with lots of character and cute specialty shops and cafes.
Look at this, the drunken sailor.
A lot of it combines some alcoholic beverages. My personal favourite, beetroot and gin relish.
Oh,
Can
really?
eat straight out of the jar.
Do you have anything hot? 'Cause
Yes.
my husband loves hot.
Does he like jalapeno?
Loves jalapeno.
And tequila?
Oh, he'd love that.
Literally all these little venues with tiny
It was so hot that everyone except me went for a swim. It doesn't look too appetising to me. Later we learnt that bull sharks have been known to come this far upriver, delighting in the murky waters. Morpeth may be a beautiful little town, but it has a dark side. Tales of murder, suicide, convict floggings, public executions, bushrangers and cruel landowners abound. Apparently every local has a story to tell. So let's go on a ghost hunt and see it for ourselves.
What's Adriana doing?
Oh, she's just going up into the commercial hotel.
Oh my God.
Let's just see if she likes the feel of the place.
The vibe.
So hot. And I feel it.
So I'm going into the commercial premises here. Basically it's a hotel where they do ghost tours. And so far it's creeped out 2 out of the 3 of us. So I said, well, I might go and check it out myself and see if I get creeped out.
Some say the ghosts have been seen in the corridors of the commercial hotel and upstairs in the dining room. Let's see if Jim can feel it.
I'm getting the vibe. Well, the view's beautiful from up here. But yeah, I get the vibe.
At savannas, orbs have been seen dancing about. Campbell's is another haunted place. A very well-known story speaks of the ghost of a certain Stephen Cantwell who drowned in a well situated at the back of the store when the shop was being constructed in the 1860s. Only a rough pile of stones indicate where the well once was. People have felt their clothes being tugged by unseen hands around the vicinity of the well. And in the store too, whispers have been heard and shadows seen, and sometimes the bell rings in the night. But for me, nothing at all is scarier than this Nazi memorabilia. It sends chills up my back. Get a load of these pink butterflies. What's that? I think I hear children's voices.
Thank you, girl.
That was fun. But ghosts aside, we managed to make a video for Simi, who has brought acupuncture, yoga and physiotherapy together in a sequence she calls Meridians in Motion. Check her video out on the link above and below in the description.
Everything is turning upside down. Maybe we're just
it's about 38 degrees. So. Thunderbirds are go.
3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
We're just giving it a final sand before we paint. If you're going to mask up with Scotch tape, bear in mind that not all Scotch tapes are created equal. The one to use is the one branded for rough surfaces, the 2060. If you use anything else, you'll damage your varnish. And while all this work was being done, Jim had another inspiration. Can you guess what it was? Yes, I'm afraid so.
It's literally the domino effect. You got to do one thing, and then that leads to 5 other things being incorporated into that first action, simply because it makes sense to do it at the same time, or you may not have even realised it needed doing.
Next time, you will see just how big the job really got. We love it when you share and like and comment, and when you subscribe and hit that bell button, because it really helps us to get these videos out to more people. Soon we'll be setting sail again, heading north to Queensland in a brand new series, and we hope you'll come with us on our journey. But for now, Jim, Lucy and I hope you'll stay well, stay safe, and keep that tail wagging.